Hey everybody, and welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience. Today we're going to talk about apes. That's it. That's all we're fucking talking about today is apes. Also, they're going to take over the world. And have you ever seen a monkey? It would rip your fucking legs off.
Don't scream too loud.
Sorry.
You might shake the wires.
What else would it, what else does Joe Rogan say a lot on his podcast?
Dude.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
There's one thing he says all the time.
What the fuck does he say all the time?
I don't remember. Fuck. Whatever. His podcast sucks. Our podcast rules. So, what's up, everybody? This is Drinking a Theory. And today, we're going to be talking about fucking Jonestown. You know? A fan kind of requested it, but like I kind of wanted to do a cult anyway. It was about time I did another cult. It's been a while. Been a hot minute, you know?
I just had a drink for the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. So we're checking out Jonestown. I've always kind of known about Jonestown. I never really looked too much into it. I knew a little bit about Jim Jones. I knew that he was like a socialist, and I knew that they killed 900 people with Flavor Aid, not Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was bad for marketing.
No, it was
no. I know.
Because he used Kool-Aid.
Yeah, but the funny thing is it was grape.
Oh wow, are you serious?
Yeah, it was grape flavored.
Wait, for really?
Yeah, for real. It was
for
grape.
really?
For really, it was grape flavored.
Wow. Something tells me that Jim Jones was kind of racist anyway.
It was grape flavored with a little touch of cyanide.
Yeah, you see what's funny about that is that, you see, they owned up to using Kool-Aid during the practice runs when they would make them drink the juice and then say it had poison and
yeah.
When he used to, like, test them.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, he was using Kool-Aid. So he saved the Kool-Aid for the practice runs, but the Flavor Aid was when they... So that's like using real that's like using real fire extinguishers for fucking fake things, and then when the fucking fire actually happens,
then the big Kool-Aid guy busts through the jungle.
Well, no, the Flavor Aid guy.
Fucking Flavor Aid.
Yeah. So that's it, guys. That's everything. Goodbye.
Yep. See you later.
See you next week. Nah, but I guess we're gonna talk a little bit about Jim Jones. I'm trying to keep this into one part. I'm definitely gonna keep it into one part. There's no way I'm doing multiple episodes of this.
Oh,
you could easily do multiple episodes.
Oh, big time.
You see, I where I got most of my info was drinking.
Yeah, Drinking a Theory. 'Cause we fucking know it. DrinkingAtheory.com.
Yeah, go check us out.
Just hit the little red subscribe button.
Press the bell. Press the bell.
Hello, Patriots.
All right. Well, here's the thing: is that I listened to the last podcast on the left's Jonestown, which is a 5-part episode with episodes anywhere between 1 and 2 hours long. So I've effectively listened to around 6 hours worth of shit. Funny thing is that I'm still fucking bad with names and dates. So I'm gonna have to trust you, Jake, to cover me, and you, Mike, to cover me on the names and dates.
Yeah, I got some important dates.
Because I'm fucking so stupid with that shit.
Yeah.
I am bad at remembering stuff like that. So, but I do know generally the story, and I can tell you how it happened. Like, I'm really good at basically what I would call party explaining, where if you were sitting at a party with a bunch of with your drunk friends, and you wanted to explain something really quick.
Yeah, and her last name was Ford. Oh, wait, no.
Ooh.
Hey, we didn't do the fucking name of the band.
Oh, wait, yeah, what's the name of the band?
Shit, I forgot the notes.
Wow.
Carnival didn't do it. Ford's a liar, and Suck My Dick.
Wow. Something tells me that was not the band name, album name, or song name.
Nah, I totally forgot. Did this break our streak?
Yeah, I guess it did.
Shit.
Well, do we want to touch on that before we get in the episode? We should talk about it a little bit.
Nah, fuck that.
No, I'll talk about it just for a little bit. I'll summarize it. I'll keep it about as short as possible. Okay, guys.
Like the fucking world.
Let's talk about Kavanaugh. Okay, so listen, if you're listening and you're of the left complexion, that's fine by me. I don't care. You can have whatever fucking opinion you want. That's not the point here. The point is that if, let's say, Ford came, I'm going to keep this as short as possible. Say Ford came forward and then she knew like a place, a date and everything, then I'd give her credit. I'd say, okay, investigate. But she doesn't know shit, and if as far as we know, she's just lying. Literally. it's looking like she's just lying to people. They have no hard evidence of anything, and it's really dragging Kavanaugh's reputation through the mud. Whether or not he did it isn't the point. The point is that she doesn't have an alibi, and because she doesn't have an alibi, it's like, why are we even discussing this? Why is this even a court hearing? Yeah. That's basically my take on it. It's like, I'm not saying that she wasn't raped. She may have, for all I know, because I don't know what the truth is. Yeah. Problem is that she doesn't have any she don't
know what the fucking truth is.
She doesn't know anything. So it's like, how am I supposed to take it seriously?
Well, she does know she's $1 million richer.
And my problem is that a lot of people on the left are like, hashtag, me too, hashtag I'm with her, and hashtag she's so brave. And it's like, listen, guys, if you really think about it, this is making rape victims look really bad. This makes rape victims look really bad because it's somebody who has because if you talk to a woman, they know when and where it happened because it was a fucking traumatic event in their life. Yeah. So, just saying.
And with that, I would just like to say, if someone could start a GoFundMe for me, long time ago, 36 years ago, I was fingered in the asshole.
By who? By who? Tell me who.
I don't remember.
Where?
I don't remember
when?
that either.
Well, you just said it was 36 years ago.
Well, I remember that much.
Oh, okay.
And
did you like it?
As far as I remember, no.
Okay.
And it really fucked up my whole life, and I need $1 million. So if you go ahead and start that GoFundMe, that'd be fucking great.
All right, everybody, go to GoFundMe/JakeGotRaped.com.
All right, let's talk about a fucking massacre now.
Yeah, so as we said earlier, we're talking about Jonestown. Now, I think before we get into the meat of who Jim Jones is, because that's basically what this is going to be. Meat, because they're all dead meat. Anyway, well, we should talk about what happened first before we get into it, because I'm going to talk about Jim Jones, essentially. Because really, a cult, at the end of the day, is who leads it. And everybody who's in the cult is the person who leads it as well. They all are copies of him because they want to be him. That's what a cult at the end of the day is. That's what I think.
That's brilliant.
What?
What you just said.
Well, think about it.
Yeah,
it's weak-minded people following.
That's the most simplistic way to sum it up, though. That's.
Well, I'm not taking credit for that statement because last podcast on the left said something similar, but not quite.
Fuck them. They're not here. So.
Well, no, I'm just saying they said something similar. They said it was him imposing himself on them. Personally, for me, what I personally believe. Jim Jones is everything these people want to be or look up to, and they're influenced by him. And if you notice, it's all weak-minded or weak people. Yep. It's just how it worked. I don't know that we'll get more into that later. But the point is that Jonestown. If you don't know what Jonestown is, basically in 1970, seven was it? Was it 77 when it happened?
No, 78.
78. I thought so. I thought it was 77 for some reason. Yeah, in 78 in Guyana, Jonestown, they had murdered a senator. They killed him on a plane, right, and made the plane crash?
No.
How did it go?
No. What happened? What had happened was.
Okay.
Jim Jones went down there. He set up his little.
While they were boarding, they didn't fly.
Yeah. What happened was
he killed the senator and a handful of other people.
Yeah, what happened was the senator was already at Jonestown.
Yeah,
and then there were some people there that there was a guy there that slipped him a note.
Yeah,
he's like, dude, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Well, no, he didn't slip him a note saying we need. He's saying please get us out.
Yeah. Yeah, well, actually, he slipped a note to a cameraman.
Yeah.
Because he thought that was the senator.
Yeah.
And, dude, do I not know the fucking senator's name?
It was Ryan. Something Ryan?
Yeah.
Leo Ryan.
Yeah, Leo Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he had a group of people. And, they tried to kill him before he left.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tried to knife him before. And then he's like, oh, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Because there was a guy down there with them. His name was Richard Dwyer. He was a representative from the American consulate.
Yeah.
And Dwyer was like, because Dwyer's another story. Mm-hmm. Dwyer's like, yo, we got to get the fuck out of here. So they got the people that wanted to leave, and they fucking right before they boarded the plane.
They blew them away.
Yeah, and there was a plant too.
Yeah.
There was a plant within the group that's we want to get out of here. There was a guy in that group that was armed. Yeah. So he was able to shoot people.
Well, he was gonna go on the plane and crash the plane. That was the original plan.
Yeah.
That's where I got the crash the plane thing, because that's what he was supposed to do.
But all hell broke loose instead.
But but long story short, after that happened, Jim Jones went on fucking crazy mode. He then coerced, and I wouldn't even say coerced, because at least half of the people, I'd say half, he forced to drink the Kool-Aid, and if they didn't drink the Kool-Aid, he shot them. He forced people to kill themselves. It was either you kill yourself or we make you kill yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why I'd say it's a murder. Last podcast on the left is absolutely right when they say it's a murder.
Oh, it was
a murder because you didn't have a choice. Yeah. There was the illusion of choice, but there wasn't a choice. So he murdered 918 people, 304 who were children. Yeah, and it was basically a big American disaster at the time. It's probably one of the biggest mass murders that wasn't like political, like excluding the Holocaust.
From what I read, as far as U.S. history, it was the biggest mass murder prior to 9/11.
Yeah. Well,
as far as American citizens.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that if this was done on American soil, this would have been like the second biggest event ever. Yeah. So, but it wasn't. It was in Guyana. But regardless, it was still a humongous fucking thing. And Jim Jones was a bit of a crazy at the end there. But we'll talk more about that because that has to do with drugs and paranoia and all this other shit. But let's go back to the beginning. Let's talk about who Jim Jones is. Jim Jones was a child of two people. He obviously, that was a really dumb thing to say.
That was awesome.
He was a test tube baby. All right, so his father's name, let me look.
James
Thurman Jones. His fucking mother's name was Lynetta Putnam. Putnam. She constantly changed her name all the time, but we'll talk a little bit about her. His father was in World War I. He got fucked up by like mustard gas and shit, and he was a bit of a deadbeat when he got back home. All he did was because Indiana at the time was still a dry state, even though Jim Jones was born in the 30s, they were still practicing prohibition in Indiana at the time.
Yeah.
So there was no bars. So what the guy did, he usually hung out in like these soda bars, and all he did was drink coffee and soda, and played pool and played cards. That's all he did. He never even got drunk. So he just kind of hung around and relax, I guess you could say, literally. Whereas his mother was a fucking crackpot. Not literally did crack, but she was fucking nuts. She in the 30s was what would be considered somebody who is very how you put it, strange. She always wore pants. She never fucking wore skirts or anything like that. So she was like kind of like a free spirit, but she was also fucking kind of an asshole. She thought that she didn't like conventions, so she never really wanted to have a kid, right? She never wanted to have Jim Jones. But her excuse for having Jim Jones and not aborting him, I guess, whatever the fuck they would have done with him, was that he's going to be great. And that's what she filled in his head the whole time, is that he's going to be this great person and that he's destined for great things. And I think it kind of fucked up Jim Jones. I think it created a personality disorder in him at a very young age where he believed that he had to be something incredible. He had to be, no matter what. And I want to talk a little bit about that in the sense that, like, if you look at like parenting nowadays, I think it's really bad to put high expectations of your kids, like super high. I think it's okay to be like, I want my son to do good things, but it's like it's another thing to be like. For example, I'm not saying that my mom did it per se, but like for example, me, I set my expectations for myself a little bit too high until I was an adult, basically, and I kind of beat myself up over, and like I think I'm like overly competitive about things now in retrospect.
See, that's why my motto, and I tell my kids, has always been aim low.
Yeah.
That way you're never disappointed.
Well, that's the opposite of me, because even to this day, my mom constantly tells me, you need to do something great, because I know you're gonna fucking do something great. You have to.
Yeah,
And it's like,
it's the fucking
I was
podcast.
about to say, you're doing it right now, man.
yeah. Well, I hope so. Then I would have proved her right. But
Fucking show her. Anyway.
but it always kind of put in my head, like, God, I have to do something or else I'm wasting myself away. And I think that kind of fucks with kids. I don't think I had it as bad as Jim Jones did. I'm just saying that I kind of get it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, where that kind of constant push kind of plants something negative in your head sometimes.
Yeah.
It doesn't create confidence. It creates over expectations.
Yeah.
And I've always thought, like, I'm a fucking genius. For all my life, I thought I was a fucking genius up until I was like an adult. Well, I mean, I still think I'm smart, but it's just like, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I always thought, like, I was smarter than everybody else around me until, like, at some point in, like, middle school, I was like, I need to chill the fuck out. And then when I turned into an adult, I was like, whatever. Nothing really matters anyway. So, but I think Jim Jones got it really rough because his mother was a wackadoo. She wanted him to not just be great. She wanted him to be like the greatest. Like her thing was like, she wanted him to be a fucking, like, how do I put it? I don't even know how to put it. She wanted him to be like.
Always wanted me to be the too.
Specific. She wanted him to be the greatest, I guess you could say. She said, when my kid is going to be something amazing, like not just amazing, but like amazing, like pedestal, like a very important person, and I think that fucked with Jim Jones from the get-go, because just based on his shit in his childhood years, when he was a child, growing up in the 30s and 40s or whatever. I don't know the exact timeline.
Yeah, 30s and 40s.
He was fucking weird. He was really fucking weird. What he used to do is I think the first weird thing he ever did was he was bringing people to the casket factories where they made caskets. He was bringing the other kids there for quote-unquote field trips.
Yeah.
And he would have them sit in the caskets and lay in the caskets.
Yeah,
and
he was a little twisted.
Yeah, and but he always like tried to make himself the leader in like a sociopathic way.
Yeah,
and that's from the get-go. You see, sociopathic tendencies start to fucking bloom when you're in your late teens. You know,
he started real early.
Yeah, he was like weird. Something was not right. And then and less and less kids started hanging out with him, and that's when he learned to rope in the young ones. And that's how he fucking got them to fucking participate, because he knew that they wanted to hang out with the older kid.
Yeah.
But he couldn't get the kids of his age and older to hang out with him because they knew he was fucking nuts.
Yep.
So he knew how to. That's when he first learned how to exploit the weak-minded.
Oh yeah.
That was like his first example. Then he started doing shit like during playground time, whatever the fuck it's called. Dude, my brain.
What are we looking for? Recess time?
Recess, that's right. Dude, I haven't been in school in such a long time. I forgot all these terms. Recess. Fucking recess. Yeah, so during recess, he used to have animal funerals. He used to take fucking dead carcasses and then bury them, and then he'd have whole long-ass fucking eulogies for animals he never even knew.
Yeah.
And he would make the little kids attend.
Yeah.
And he would make them attend. And some of them started getting weirded out, too, and they started fucking going away. Then he started using force. He used to bully them if they tried to get away. And that's, again, that leads to his fucking adult life that he started doing during the cult. And we'll get to that way later. But
he's still doing all this like before he was 14.
Yeah. So he wasn't even like a teenager yet. He was still a little kid. And in fact, he had one friend, I forget the friend's name because he's so inconsequential. He used to hang out with Jim Jones all the time, and he would go over to Jim Jones's fucking house. And Jim Jones had a little .22 rifle or something like that, pistol, something like that. He had a gun, a little .22.
Yeah.
And the kid came over, and then he was like, I'm going to go home now. And Jim Jones didn't want him to fucking go home. He's like, you're going to fucking hang out with me, and I'm going to dismiss you when I fucking tell you to.
Yeah.
Again, this is how Jim Jones was like from the get-go. And basically, he shot at his friend. He missed. But he still injured his friend. Like, I think like something splintered into the guy. Something hit him.
Yeah.
And it's like, so the kid still got hurt. It's like, that just goes to show what mindset Jim Jones was already in. He was already a sociopath. He was already kind of fucking nuts. And, like, a lot of people like to say, hey, Jim Jones wasn't that bad of a guy when he was an adult because he was doing such, like, a lot of social projects. It's just he must have gone wrong at some point. It's like, no, I think those were all an ends to the means. He was just using that as a way to increase his social status because he knew that would get him power. And if his social status went up, more people wanted to surround themselves around him. And he got a fucking big fat boner doing that. He got a big fat fucking power boner.
Hot, man.
That's what I think Jim Jones was at the end of the day. He was just somebody.
Power boner?
The more people that surrounded themselves around me, the fucking cooler I was. The more important I was. And that's all he fucking wanted. Anyway, into his teenage years, fucking, what was he doing in his teenage years? I already forgot.
Boning.
Huh?
Boning.
No, not really.
He did graduate school early.
Did he?
Yeah, he graduated school when he was 17. He graduated with honors, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. When he was young, I forgot to mention, before he graduated, he started visiting churches.
Yeah.
He liked to obsess about shit, right?
Yeah, big time.
And that's when he started obsessing about churches. He
he
didn't like churches for churches. He liked churches because the fucking priests rounded everybody up.
Yeah.
He liked the power that the priests had.
And
just like he really liked Hitler.
Yeah, even when he was young, he studied. This is as a kid, as a child.
Yeah.
He studied Stalin, Marx, Mao, Gandhi.
Yeah, all
Hitler.
That's when he got the whole socialist shit.
Yeah.
And fucking.
Oh, and his father, by the way, was a member of the Ku Klux Klan there.
Yeah,
in
I know.
Indiana.
Yeah, I know. Which I think has to play into him why he was so pro.
Yeah.
Because I think that goes hand in hand with parenting. Sometimes your kids just do the opposite of what you do just because you do it. So that's just parenting sometimes. But what did he do in his teenage years though? Because I know that he worshipped Hitler, and because he liked Hitler's energy and he liked how he leaded people. And the same thing with the priests. He thought the priests were interesting because they leaded people and they had kind of power over them, and they could pretty much tell them what to do and what to believe. And he liked that. And he was still young. He was probably still 8 to 10 years old at that time. So he was fucking crazy. Organized in a cavernous Indiana.
I read some shit too. How as he got into his teens.
Well, I'm trying to see what he did in his teens.
How he liked to show the neighborhood kids how to fornicate.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd like to show them how to.
Yeah.
Use their danger wangers.
He had a bit of an obsession with that for a little bit.
Yeah.
I remember that. But he didn't do much in his teen years because I'm looking at it.
No, he didn't.
He kind of just coasted through there. It wasn't really until he started getting into college and started working and shit like that.
Yeah, he went to his first college was University of Indiana.
Yeah, I'm trying to fucking find it. Blah, 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 blah.
See, I think he got married right after he graduated, too.
He graduated from Richmond High School early with minors.
Yeah.
You see, there's this big gap. Where it leads up to where he got married in 49.
Yeah.
Or 1 year after school. And that's when because I know he was, hey, Scully. Scully was sniffing my ass.
Nice.
Anyway, she smells the blood on my ass from my ass being raw.
Oh my god.
From wiping it so much because I fucking shit my fucking brains out earlier.
Jesus.
He attended night school at Butler University.
Go right back in.
It was Butler University. Well, he attended Indiana University Bloomington first.
Yeah.
But he had eventually moved to Indianapolis, and then he went to Butler University. But he worked as an old folks home guy, and the old folks people, and this is where he learned how to fucking reel in the fucking old people.
That was the Reed Memorial, right?
Mm-hmm. he learned how to get along with old people and how to exploit them as well.
Yeah.
And this is actually where he learned where he used to do this later with some of his members, where he would actually get them to fucking give them the deeds to their house and stuff. Because he knew that they were gonna die.
He got their welfare.
Yeah, and their assets.
Everything.
And that's how he got a lot of money. But he didn't do that at this time. He did that later because he opened up homes with his wife later down the line, where he did do that. But he learned how to fucking play the fucking Pied Piper for the old people, and they're like, "Oh, Jim Jones,
they sucked it right.
You make my fucking old pussy wet."
Oh my God. Jesus.
Sorry, was that too much?
Yeah, it was.
Are you surprised it went there though?
Well, anyway, in 49, he married his first wife, Marceline, and only wife, technically. But he did have a mistress later.
And he fucked everyone else.
Yeah, he also fucked men.
That too.
They met, and she thought he was a fucking totally nice fucking guy, not a piece of shit or anything like that.
She was like, what, 10 years older, I think? Or
I don't know.
Yeah, she was older than him. I don't know how much older she was.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Because her folks were like, I don't want you getting involved.
Well, she was born in 27. He was born in 31, I think.
Okay, so it's a couple years older. All right.
Yeah, he was born in 31. She was born in 27. So that means she was...
13. She was 13. No, okay. I'm still going back to... What episode was that? Marilyn Monroe. That's right.
4 years older.
Dude, we're not good with math. Just fucking go right over it.
Anyway. And he married her, in my opinion, not because she was nice or pretty or anything. He married her because she was politically involved. She was into local politics. Her family was rich, Republican family, and she was little miss fucking rebellious, and she said, when I go vote, I'm voting all Democrat. And she was
I'm
a little
social justice warrior.
Yeah. Wow, it sounds really familiar.
Cocks, not Glocks. Okay.
Whatever, yeah, man. Defend yourself with a fucking cock when I fucking pull out my gun, you little fucking bitch.
Okay, keep going.
Anyway, yeah, so fucking Marceline was very involved in politics. She already knew how to do the whole political bullshit. She was his organizer, basically. She organized everything for him in terms of politics and getting to know people and fucking tying the knot with fucking politicians and everything. Like, getting real fucking close. And that's how he got all these fucking connections, and that's how he fucking started getting real fucking popular. Because he was Mr. Nice Socialist guy. Not that he publicly announced that too often, because that wasn't so fun to admit that you were a socialist out in the public. Though, a little quick trivia note, did you know that back in the 50s, McCarthy, he used to fucking taunt the because he used to go to university, and they used to have communist meetups, and the FBI people used to like hang out outside and like kind of like eavesdrop or whatever.
Yeah.
He used to walk out and be like, "Hey, I live at this state. My name is fucking Jim Jones. I'm a fucking communist."
Yeah.
He used to taunt them.
Yeah. And his mom went to a couple commie meetings with him.
Yeah.
And his mom, the FBI, ended up showing up at her work.
Yeah.
Because that was a time where you got to think the same thing as like think JFK with Oswald, the whole communist Cuba thing.
Yeah.
The government was pretty much keeping tracks on anyone.
Yeah.
The CIA was, the FBI was. They were keeping tracks on people involved in the communists, and he was actually directly involved to it was called Communist Party USA.
Yeah.
He was a member of that.
Yeah. But that's just a little bit of trivia. That was kind of inconsequential to the whole thing. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying. What? I'm just saying it was trivia.
No.
It didn't have anything to do with anything.
Of course not. I'll tell you in about 40 minutes what it had to do with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, you took your route. I find a fucking conspiracy in everything.
Okay. Anyway, after high school, after a little bit, Jones started to get interested in doing fucking he was trying to get into like preaching and stuff. And basically, he started trying to get people to be interested in his prayers and stuff like that. And in fact, at this time, if I'm getting the timeline correct here, Jim Jones was actually a bit of a fucking con artist. And before he would go up on stage, he used to go sit out in the crowd and listen to people's problems.
Yep.
And then he used to be like, "Yo, I know you got problems. Haha, I don't know who you are, but I know you got problems." Yeah. And that's how he used to ring people in. Yeah. However, he was still kind of radical and kind of weird, and he didn't have much of a reputation. And when he tried to fucking like get with the Baptist church on shit, or was it Baptist?
I don't know. He like tried every fucking church.
Well, he tried to get fucking like popular with a church. I forget which one it was, and he had been trying to fucking like get in with them. He was trying to get his own church or something like that. Ah, dude, it's this part that I don't know much about because when I was listening to the thing, they really breezed over this shit. Because I know more about like the California stuff, but regardless, he was trying to achieve something with one of the fucking churches, and they were like, we kind of heard you're like a crazy socialist. That's no. Yeah. And but at the same time, he was also doing a lot of human rights stuff. He was big on fucking racially integrating people. He wanted racially integrated churches. He was constantly fucking doing.
I think him and his wife were the first couple in Indiana to adopt a black child.
They were. Yeah. They were. You're right about that. And they were actually they were pretty popular at the time during the 60s when they were actually going to restaurants, white only restaurants, and they were bringing crowds of fucking black people with them, and they were saying, "I'm paying for them." And they're going to sit in here. You're going to give them business. Yeah. And they actually made it so that these businesses would just fucking run with black people in them. They would make them not anti-white. He was a big progressionist. And like a lot of people like to look at that and be like, "Oh, hey, look, Jim Jones wasn't so bad at first." And I was like, "No, you know what he was probably doing this for is because he wanted connections and he wanted power and he wanted people to follow him." Yeah. And the reason I think that is because at the end of the day, if you look at the cult towards the end there, when he had his inner circle there were like no black. There's one. Yeah, there was one black person in his inner circle. They were all and they all got fucking benefits and and they all got like luxury fucking treatment. Yeah. And all the black people paid more.
I'm glad you found that because most people, when they talk about Jim Jones, they don't hit that mark.
No. Yeah. He was a bit of a racist, if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he was all talk, and I think that he just wanted people to follow him. That's it. Because, like, again, if you look at the cult, his inner circle had one black guy. Yeah. One black guy. Even though there was a majority of fucking black people in his group there in Guyana, there's a majority black, or a majority minority at least. I'm pretty sure they were black though. Yeah. They were paying more into the church than anybody else. Yeah. And it was like it was pretty clear that Jim Jones had very low regard for his minority. Yep. They were just a means to the end. They were tools. They were his tools for him to use. For social gain. And I don't know. It's just like I think Jim Jones was a piece of shit from the get-go. I think as soon as he was old enough to have some sort of sentience, I think he realized that he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, he was, and like you said it best, he was a fucking con. Yeah. He was a con more than anything.
Yeah. I don't know. When was this? Yeah, they also adopted a whole bunch of kids. They adopted adopted Koreans. They adopted Native Americans. They were called the Rainbow Family. Integration is a more personal thing with me now. It's a question of my son's future as a couple.
Probably had a real big.
Well, anyway, to sum up his Indiana fucking presence is that.
That went right over Jimmy's head.
What?
I can't believe he had
nothing. Just keep going.
Well, because I was getting ready to talk.
Yeah.
Well, basically, his Indiana presence was he was trying to get popular religiously. He was trying to get popular politically, and he was trying to get popular progressively.
Yeah.
And he did. He was a big name in Indiana for a while.
Yeah.
He was huge. And then he decided to go to Brazil. He wanted to do this shit in Brazil. And this is where I start understanding, this is where I start having more info, because that shit that I knew was very breezed over. When he went to Brazil, he was trying to do the same thing. He was trying to get religious following and progressive following. Well, he went to the wrong fucking place, because Brazil is probably the worst place. Not because of crime or anything. Well, yeah, because of crime. But you know what I mean? Brazil is full of religious fucking missionaries. That's like going, and last podcast on the left actually said it best. That's like going to LA to become a fucking actor.
Yeah, but
it's like, it's a dumb idea.
Did they say his initial intention for going to Brazil?
No, I think they just said he wanted to further his political gains.
No.
Well, he was also trying to scope out a new place to fucking make a compound.
No. Right before he went down there, he started preaching all about nuclear holocaust.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he read an article from.
Well, he was looking for that's what I'm saying. Like, he was looking for a compound to run from. To run away from America, because he was afraid that there was going to be nuclear war in fucking America.
Yeah, and he chose Brazil because Brazil is one of the safest places in the world. If there's a nuclear war,
why is that?
Between the world powers?
Why was that? Why is it the safest?
I have no clue.
Is it just because they're not targeted?
I have no clue.
Because I did know, because they did mention that he was trying to get away from America because he was afraid of Russia.
That's like in 2012,
yeah.
A bunch of the fucking the preppers and stuff, all the ones with money, they were buying up land in South America because they thought they would be safer in South America.
Huh.
Makes no fucking sense. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that.
Yeah.
But because 2012 was supposed to be the end of the world, not nuclear holocaust.
Well, it could have been anything.
No, it was supposed to be like the world was supposed to flood. You know what I mean? It was supposed to be the world.
No, that was what the movie showed you.
What, I don't know too much about. Were you into 2012 shit?
Yeah, and honestly,
what was it supposed to
be?
I thought it was supposed to be the end of the world via natural causes. I thought the world was just supposed to end.
Honestly, I do believe the world ended in 2012.
Oh God, here we go.
I don't know if it ever really gave a exact this is what's gonna fucking end.
I thought it was supposed to be via natural means. I thought like the world was supposed to flood.
There was 20 million different scenarios.
Oh.
Everyone had their own theory. But my theory was right. The world ended in 2012.
How do you know you're right?
Because look at it now. Everything has gone to shit.
Well, I mean,
look at everything pre-2012.
Okay, let's pause on the Jim Jones shit real quick. So, all right, I was talking about Brazil. Let's remember that bookmarked.
It's bookmarked.
Okay. I kind of reinforced that theory that you have because I remember we've talked about this before. Social justice and this whole shit that's been going on now started in 2012.
Yeah.
That was the year it started.
That's the year the fucking world ended.
And I could understand the theory that it was the start of the end. It's the beginning of the end. I can understand if people were like, this is when it's starting and the world's going to end soon.
Yeah.
Like, I could kind of see it. I can see that, but I don't think we all died and now we're in an alternate universe.
No, I don't.
You think it's the beginning of the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's believable. It doesn't have to be. Claim your future.
Doing a quick search here, I can't find anything about why
Brazil.
Yeah.
Well, all I know is that in terms of nuclear war, it wasn't going to be targeted.
Did you just Google the safest place in the world if there's a nuclear war?
I Googled why is Brazil a safe place if there's a nuclear fallout.
Just Google safest place in the world if there's a nuclear war.
It might have to do with air currents. Maybe their air currents don't, because I know that has to do with fallout.
Yeah, I don't.
And stuff. I know air currents have a big deal with fallout because if they nuke America, America's not the only place that's fucked.
Yeah.
It's the people that are downwind from America too. So.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know how it works.
Brazil. So he went to Brazil.
Well, yeah, he went to Brazil initially to escape nuclear holocaust because he thought that Russia was gonna. He was like a very paranoid person. I think it's worth noting that before he was on amphetamines, Jim Jones was already fucking paranoid.
Yeah.
So he wanted originally to go to fucking Brazil for that, but that wasn't the only reason. His main reason, in my opinion, was to spread his politics. Because he went there and he immediately started trying to convert people. And he immediately tried making connections. And he failed. Again, last podcast put it really well. It's like going to LA to become an actor. It's like everybody in LA is trying to become an actor. Just like, so everybody in impoverished Brazil is a fucking missionary. They're out there trying to convert poor people who need hope. So Jim Jones, you're in a sea of fucking people doing the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be successful. That's like going to LA to fucking start a podcast.
That's why we do it from Coco Town.
Yeah. Because there is no other fucking podcast around here. We're literally the only one. I think it's safe to say we're the most popular podcast here.
Coco Town.
We're winning, baby. But, yeah, so, and he ultimately failed. He was only there for a couple years, literally like 2 years, and only 2 years. And that's what's fucking incredible to me, because he went back to Indiana after that. He went back to fucking Indiana after 2 years, and everybody forgot who he was. Over 2 years, that's all it took, was 2 years for other people took up his slack. Other people did progressive shit. Other people took what he did and just furthered it, and they were like, well, we don't really need you anymore. And he fucking hated that. That made him snap, dude. That was his first snap. He had multiple snaps throughout his. That was the first one, because he came back and he realized nobody needed him anymore, and he needed to find someplace new, and that's where he went to fucking California.
I can't find any exact fucking answers. Everything keeps giving just lists of places you should go.
Yeah, is anything in Brazil at the top?
No. Actually, Antarctica's at the top of most of them.
Well, you ain't going there.
Yeah.
I might have to pee.
What else is new?
Just warning you.
And you're gonna come back and shit on your mic. Probably,
Fuck
right?
yeah, I will. All right, you guys. You guys want to talk while I pee? It's pee time.
Nothing on Brazil's on that fucking list. Yeah, I don't know. That's I don't know. A couple things I read, a couple things I listened to.
I don't know. The first article I clicked on has Iceland.
Oh, hey, wait. Is he upstairs? He's upstairs right now? Yo, I'm going to blow his mind because the shit I looked into, I don't think he looked at any of that fucking shit. None of it. I can tell by the way he's fucking talking. Shit I'm going to talk about, he's going to be like, what? And watch, he's going to try to contradict me on everything. And I can talk like this right now because I know he doesn't listen to our fucking episodes. So, fucking douche. Okay, yes.
So we got
Iceland?
Iceland, Isle of Lewis. Where the fuck that
Isle
is?
of Lewis.
Yeah.
Arr.
Antarctica. Kansas City for some reason.
Kansas City, get the fuck out.
This is the place.
Well, Kansas City's almost in the center of the U.S., isn't it?
Yeah. The Yukon.
Huh.
Cape Town. Guam. Bern. I guess is how you say it. B-E-R-N. It's a place in Switzerland.
Oh, Bern, Switzerland. I think, yeah. Huh. Wow.
Hey, you want to know where you shouldn't be? Here's an article about that, too. You don't just...
Shouldn't be in Kunkletown. Kunkletown's probably a direct target.
Hey man, just telling you, when I went and pissed in your toilet, my pee was so acidic I fucking burned a hole in the back of your toilet.
Which toilet did you use?
Upstairs. There's a big hole in the back of your
Yeah,
toilet.
I have two toilets upstairs.
Leaking upstairs.
Did you use the one in Jake's room?
No.
Oh, so
yeah, so there's toilet water everywhere.
That
just
one's
leaking.
not that's not my toilet.
Whatever.
That's Megan's toilet.
Whatever. You know what they
You're
say?
fucking dead.
You know what they say? Acid pee, it hurts.
You know what? I heard that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Just now you did.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so basically where I left off there, Indiana and fucking Indianapolis, he was not useful anymore. Nobody needed him anymore. He lost footing and fucking there. He had no reason to be there anymore. And that's what spurred his move to North California, which that was a bad
Where did he go?
North California.
Oh.
Northern California.
I thought you said North California.
No, he went to Redwood Valley. So
a lot of redwoods there. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Big. They're big.
I wonder why. You know,
Dinosaurs.
being the name of Redwood Valley, I wonder why there's so many redwoods there. I wonder why.
Remember when the dinosaurs would help Jesus move rocks and stuff? Okay, but anyway, go ahead.
He'd ride him for miles.
Miles and miles. Wow. I could see from miles. Okay, go ahead.
I was going for the fucking SpongeBob reference. Riding rocks for miles.
Huh.
Yeah. Luke 69:420.
Riding dirty. Okay,
What
let's
the fuck
continue.
just happened in this episode?
Wow, we lost our fucking marbles, man. Anyway,
The Kraken has arrived.
regardless, he still had a congregation in Indiana, and in fact, his congregation in Indiana started to fall apart while he was gone completely. His little group.
Yeah, because there wasn't a disciplinary like him.
Yeah. Well, basically, he said that the world would be consumed by nuclear war, and he said that in 1967, and that he needs to create a new socialist Eden on Earth, and that we need to move to North California, which was a bad fucking. I almost said yeah, and that was a really bad idea because even to this day, North California, there's a lot of Republicans there. Yeah. They don't like socialists. Yeah. That was a bad fucking place to go. And he had his little, like, group. He had, like, I don't know exactly how many people he had at this point. I don't know if it was ever mentioned or if it's specified. What are we? Are we getting tweeted? Are we getting tweeted?
No, we're not.
He just fucking just tweeted. Wheeler Walker Jr. just fucking tweeted, fuck Kanye. Fuck you. No, I'm kidding. Dude, my nose is itchy as fuck. I don't know what to tell you. My nose is itchy. And, yeah, so, hold on, I'm reading a little bit more. Because I don't want to just breeze over this. I want to give you some good fucking content here, and not just be like, oh, this is what happened. Just wait up, everybody. Sorry. Just making sure I'm getting everything right here. Because, fucking, I don't want to breeze through this and make you guys listen to, like, what, 30 minutes of fucking Jim Jones shit. This guy's a big deal. So,
Durka.
yeah, that's it. Oh, shit. This was at this point. Dude, at this point. Dude, this was the point. I holy shit. This is when he started telling everybody that he was the reincarnation of Gandhi, Father Divine, Jesus, Gautama Buddha, and Vladimir Lenin. All of them at the same time. Wow. Yeah, and Marx. He also said that he was Marx, even though Lenin and Marx lived at the same exact time. So I don't know how he would have done that. But, good job, fucking Jim Jones. Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, that's right. This is the time when this is what I wanted to say. That's right. He was starting to really preach the socialism, communism thing, right? At this point in Northern California. And, well, it was a town of 15,000 that he was in, right? So it was about, rumor gets around. Especially if you're a socialist communist in fucking Republican California. People didn't really like him in his group. And not to mention, he was anti-God at this point. He started denouncing Sky God. He would call it Sky God.
So he's anti-God, but he said he was the reincarnation of all those.
Okay, well, that's the thing. Here's how his little preach would go. He would say in public, he would do his religious sermons in public. And then in private, he would tell all of his followers, "Hey, listen, I don't actually believe in God. This is just so that we can round up members, okay? Because we need members. If you want to be a socialist country where we take care of people and do social justice, we got to lie to people. There's a means to the end. And there's a lot more detail behind that, where he actually told his followers that sometimes you got to do bad things to do good things. And there's a whole fucking thing to that. And I'm not going to get into it because that'll take way too long. I'm not going to get into every little detail. And I think during this time, he had also started meeting this guy, this other religious leader who, I'm going to keep this super short because this guy's story will also take fucking forever because he's a fucking wackadoo. There's another cult, and this guy named Jealous. He named himself Jealous, and he was a black cult leader, and he basically, long story short, he was all about the reincarnation, and then his ugly wife that he had died, and then he said that his wife's fucking consciousness moved into this beautiful Canadian white woman's body, and that she's my wife now. And and Jim Jones made good friends with this guy, right? And he learned how to improv. He learned how to improv from this guy because this guy is bullshit. And let's be real, this guy is...
That is not how reincarnation works.
No, it's how it works. Shut up. That's basically how he would say it. He's like, no, that's how it works. That's her body's in this guy and this girl now. So, and Jim Jones learned how to improvise from this guy. And not to mention, this guy becomes important later because he's gonna fucking die, and Jim Jones is gonna try to take all of his followers, and he will fail. But we'll get into that later. But I'm just saying that he was hanging out with this guy at this time too. But basically, after that, what was I getting at? I forgot already. I have my brain is bad. My brain.
Black dude, leader of the cult.
Yeah. Hold on, I want to know what year they actually went to Guyana. Guyana. When did they go to Guyana? You guys are making this harder on me. You guys are making this harder for me.
I don't like silence.
Well, sorry. I'm trying to. Well, why aren't you guys talking?
Let's go to Jimmy first.
Yeah.
What's your answer, Jimmy?
I'll take.
No, we're on the fucking Final Jeopardy question, asshole.
I'll take Dick for $9 million.
Wow. I'd probably take Dick for $1 million.
Let's see. You really have to isolate that little part there.
Well, that being said, so he was hanging out in Northern Carolina. He did all that shit. You know, he was talking to this other guy. They did not have very many friends in this Northern Carolina, Jesus Christ, California, Northern California. They didn't have very many friends here, and they eventually fucking went. Dude, I can't believe I'm fucking skipping on this information now, cause I fucking listened to 6 hours worth of fucking documentary. This is fucking retarded. My brain just doesn't work sometimes. But basically, they hung out in fucking San Francisco too for a little while. And this is what were they only in Guyana for a year?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
Because that fucking surprises me a lot. Because they were in San Francisco until 1977.
Yeah.
That's quite a fucking long amount of time. And he actually got down on the whole racial relations thing, because this is when he started converting more people into black members again. Because for a while he was bringing in white people, especially in Northern Carolina. Jesus fucking Christ!
Just fucking say California.
Northern California. I don't know why I'm saying Carolina, because I think it's because I went there for vacation and I want to go back.
Because you're used to saying North Carolina, you're not used to saying North California.
Yeah, but this is when he started getting black people in his congregation again, and he was also being pro-USSR now. He was definitely afraid of fucking Russia, but then he started telling them that Russia's good and that it's a fucking communist, socialist fucking paradise. And wow, I thought they were in Guyana for a lot longer.
So basically what you're telling me
wow.
is Jim Jones rigged the election.
What the fuck?
It's funny you mention that, because technically he did rig an election.
What?
Yeah.
Are we talking about that after?
Yeah.
Okay. Because the whole point, when I do these, I just want to get through the vague information, and then I want to just talk about my opinion of Jim Jones.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of opinions about him, and then his modern day influence and modern day how he would do in modern day fucking civilization. Oh wow, we're 55 fucking minutes in. Jesus Christ, holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, yeah, so he was preaching that USSR is like a socialist fucking paradise, and they weren't socialist. Some people tried calling him out on this, and this is where he started getting smarty pantses to join his fucking cult. Because people would call him out on it, like college students, and he'd be like, "Hey," he'd yell at them in this during his sermons, and then like after the sermons, he'd be like, "Hey, come here. Hey, do you want to stop? In fact, I need a smart guy like you to tell me when I'm wrong, but you can't do it in public, so don't do that in public. So stop that. But if you want to tell me I'm wrong, like in my cult behind the scenes, then you can tell me. In fact, I think you're smarter than me, buddy." And these people fucking fell for it like idiots. Yeah. So, but I don't think he was in San Francisco for long either. For what, like only like 2 years.
Yeah.
And that's when you finally get to fucking Jonestown, Guyana. Yep. He how did he get everybody to Guyana? Did he fly them out? Because last podcast never fucking touched on that. He flied them out. Yeah. 900 fucking people.
Yeah.
Well, I know he recruited some locals too.
Yeah, but at that point in time, he may have looked like a fucking bum, but his little cult church there, they had a shit ton of fucking money. Yeah.
Well, that's because him and his wife had opened up like retirement homes. I'm not mentioning little stuff like that because it's so much. It's like irrelevant detail. That's how they made money. They were acquiring assets from their people, and to get through it real quick because there's a bit more of a story here. He had basically a retirement home franchise, and he acquired assets from the old people by being really nice to them, and that's how he gained a lot of his money. So yeah, he had a lot of money. And he also had political pull. So I'm sure he was getting money somehow. He also wasn't getting taxed, by the way, because he was technically a religious charity. And it wasn't taxed either. Again, another detail that I won't get too much into, he was selling paintings of himself. He would go to sermons, sell paintings of himself for $5 a pop. And that wasn't taxed. So he would make like up to $3,000 back then, which is a lot of money. $3,000 a sermon, it's a lot of money. So, I wonder if he flew everyone out there, like all 900, or if he gained more people. Yeah, and it says here 68% of the Jonestown residents were black too. I was right. This is when he started getting rid of the white people, at least in terms of the main population of his fucking thing. Basically, there he fucking it didn't last long, but it feels like that's where the bulk of the shit started happening. This is and before this too, because even way before this, back in California, he was taking amphetamines, and that's why he started wearing the sunglasses, by the way, because his eyes were so fucked up, because he was taking amphetamines and Quaaludes all the time. But that's besides the point. He was fucking cracked the fuck out. He faked an assassination attempt in California as well. I keep forgetting. I don't know why I'm forgetting everything. Jesus Christ!
Don't look at me, dude. I don't know shit about this topic.
Listen, because his life was so hectic, and it all happened in a short period of time.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I'm just disappointed in myself because I just listened to 6 hours, and I was actually asking my mom about it, and I knew so much fucking info off the top of my head, and then I sat down here, and now it's like it fucking escaped my brain hole. But yeah, in California, he attempted assassination on himself. He faked an assassination attempt to make, because you know what keeps people in your cult? Believing you have a fucking enemy. Yeah. So, and eventually they moved to Guyana. This is the big part. And in Guyana, they fucking this is where the most fucked up shit was happening. And this is when they were starting to eat like rice and shit all the time because they couldn't even fucking sustain themselves as a socialist fucking group. Because they weren't buying anything. They couldn't. There wasn't really anything to buy. Guyana was still a relatively new country at the time. It was only like 15, 20 years old at that point. Yeah. So, and he had some 900 people there with him. 918. 304 of which were kids. Well, that's how many people died, but he almost had 1,000 people there, and he had at least a third of them were kids. And at that point, a lot of people had wanted to leave the group as well, and a lot of people were missing their family members, and this is where the fucking congressman gets involved. Because the congressman was involved with this whole fucking human rights thing, because this is where the Jonestowns, like, the rumors were starting and shit, where he was fucking violating human rights and shit. And that's why this fucking senator with a bunch of these people's families started flying out there. Because they wanted to get their fucking family members back. Because a lot of these family members disappeared basically without a word. And that's another thing that Jim Jones did was he used to basically bring people in and then he wouldn't let them write to their families. By wouldn't let them, he'd let them write the letters, but then he'd steal the letters. He'd have people like get the letters they were supposed to be sent, but then they would never send them.
Yeah.
He'd basically make them think that you don't have a family, but you have the cult now. But in reality, they were getting letters back and they had family members wondering, where the fuck did you guys go? So eventually a bunch of family members flew out with this guy trying to get a hold of their family. And this was the start of the fucking big shebang, the big fucking shit that happened. The big incident. And this happened in 1978, finally. He fucking, this guy went down to fucking Guyana and Jonestown. And, if I remember correctly, they kind of did like a tour almost. Wasn't Jim Jones and a bunch of his people leading them around and like touring them and shit like that?
Yeah. And Jim Jones didn't want him there.
No.
He didn't want him there.
No. Oh, no. Because he believed that the government was trying to kill him.
Yeah.
He was of the belief that he was like super paranoid at this point. He was hopped up on amphetamines. And he believed that the government wanted to kill him. And he believed that for a long time. And this fucking senator being here just fucking reinforced it for him. And, basically, sorry, my neck's itchy. Basically, fucking, I don't know what went south. I know that the senator had, or the congressman had, somebody attempted to assassinate him with a knife, you said? Right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I actually didn't even know that.
Yeah. The one person I listened to, what went south was the three things showed up that Jim Jones despised. And that was his last straw.
The three things?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
One was the press. He despised the press.
Oh, yeah.
Two was government.
Yeah, he despised the government. I know
That was the senator.
Oh, yeah, here it is. After
Or
Temple member
congressman.
Temple member Don Sly attacked Ryan with a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the third one was losing
Members. Yeah.
And all three of it happened at once.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that's the thing with Jim Jones is that he was extremely paranoid of people leaving.
Yeah.
He didn't want people to leave. That was the last thing he fucking wanted. And it's kind of why he had an inner group as well, because he would actually use his inner group to test shit on people and to see if they wouldn't leave. He practiced a whole lot of like almost psyop shit. It almost seemed like psychological warfare. And like he used to use like what almost seemed like brainwashing techniques, like the white knight drills.
Yeah.
And it's like it almost seems like he was trained in it. And like I could see where a conspiracy where Jim Jones worked for the fucking government or something. I could see where something like that could be born, because honestly, some of the shit that he used, especially in towards the end in Northern California and in fucking Guyana, that was some really weird shit. And especially with like the suicide testing with the Kool-Aid, where he would make them drink it, tell them it was fucking poison and see how they'd react.
Yeah.
It almost seems like he was conducting experiments.
Yeah.
But it almost seems like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Was he a CIA agent? Tell me. Nah. But basically, yeah, so fucking somebody tried to kill Leo Ryan with a fucking knife. Don Sly did. And bringing the visit to an abrupt end. So basically, Leo Ryan and the families tried to take back a bunch of people as well, a handful of people. And that's when basically shit just blew up. And they shot the fuck out of them, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
They shot the fuck out of all of them. Did they kill all of them right then and there?
No, they didn't kill them all. I forget how many they killed. Well, of course, the senator was one of them.
Yeah.
I forget how many were killed. A lot of them got into the weeds, hid and shit. I totally forget how many got killed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, the thing is that fucking after that, basically, Jim Jones had went into it's over mode. It's over now. And this is where Jim Jones is like truly his real dark. This is when it finally comes out. You see just how fucking evil he was. And do you have your phone plugged in?
Why?
I wanted to play some of the clips from the fucking...
It's charged. It's ready to go. I don't have...
I mean, I could use my phone to... Oh, no, I can't. That's right. Because of the fucking port. That's right. I could always get it on my computer.
Listen, here. It's so hard because I was looking before we started. I was looking to find just little audio clips of them. And it's so hard to find just audio clips of him talking.
Okay, hold on. I'll actually find some. I'll see if I can find some. I'm sorry that this has been so in order.
Yeah, and one hilarious thing you left out.
Yeah.
Which I found so funny about this whole deal.
Yeah.
Was at one point in his life to raise money.
Selling spider monkeys.
Yeah, he was going door to door.
Yeah, and he did it too. He was successful.
He was importing fucking monkeys from South America and going door to door in the U.S. selling these fucking monkeys, dude.
I mean,
which is fucking hilarious, man.
Seems like it'd be an expensive thing to do to get the fucking monkeys to begin with.
Yeah, he was buying them from South America and fucking selling them door to door in the U.S. And he made a living off of it. He made good money. I don't know if you could sell monkeys like that anymore. Probably
no,
not.
you can't.
Can't believe you
dude.
Can
People
back
back in the 50s and 60s just owned monkeys willy nilly, because he actually recruited some people into his fucking congregation doing that too. Because people wanted monkeys.
If you can find it, there's actually, I believe it's a 55-minute recording.
Yeah.
Of the last 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Because he recorded everything, and it was the last 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Of the fucking mess that ensued.
Oh, fucking hell. Please, audio don't go out. Oh, God, it's on the other side. See?
You're into it now.
Okay.
It's in.
Yay. All right, guys, I'm going to skip around.
I don't think this is what we want to do with our babies. I don't think that's what we had in mind to do with our babies. It was said by the greatest of prophets from time immemorial.
He's basically talking people into killing them.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Now, I know what you're thinking. So why didn't people just not do it?
So, to sit here and wait
because there's guys in the... This is the wondrous thing about audio. You can't see the armed guards that were basically like, if you don't drink the Flavor Aid, we're gonna fucking shoot you.
You can't take off with people's...
I want to find the part where his wife is screaming, trying to get people to stop. Marceline,
that's not
his fucking wife, is trying to make people stop. Because his wife was actually kind of a good person, and she didn't want them to fucking kill themselves.
The world, the kingdom suffereth violence, and the violence shall take it by force. There's no plane, you can't catch a plane in time. I've been living on hope for a long time, Christine, and I appreciate it. You've always been a very good agitator. I like agitation because you got to see two sides of one issue. It's 20 odd. Want us with all this? I've always taken your troubles right on my... Still not the kind of peace that I wanted to give you.
An individual. I have a right to...
You do, and I'm listening.
What I think, what I feel.
This
and
is
I think
somebody
we
trying
all
to
have a
convince
right
him that I don't
to
want
our
to kill
own
myself.
destiny as individuals.
Right.
And I think I have a right to choose mine, and everybody else has a right to choose theirs.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. I'm not criticizing. I'm not trying to... What's that?
I think this is his wife.
That's what 20 people said today with their lives.
I think I still have a right to my own opinion.
I'm not taking it from you. I'm not taking it from you.
Christine,
You see how he's trying to make them complacent? Like, oh yeah, you still have your right, but you have to drink the fucking
Having an
juice.
individual life. Your life has been extended to the day that you're standing there because of him.
Voice back there, she has much right to speak to anybody else too. What'd you say, Luby? Well, you'll regret it this very day if you don't die. You'll regret it if you don't die. You'll regret it.
Too many people.
I saved them, but I made my example. I made my expression. I made my manifestation, and the world was not ready for me. Paul said I was a man born out of due season. I've been born out of due season just like all we are, and the best testimony we can make is to leave this goddamn world. Jeez.
Basically, to sum that up, what he just said, he said, I made my fucking impression on the world, so you all have to die with me.
Yeah.
My time's over, so is all yours. That was basically what he said. But I'm trying to find the part where his wife, you can hear his wife screaming in the background.
I'm not talking to her.
And he's like, mother, stop, don't do this, mother. He's talking to his wife, and she's trying to fucking make people stop. And then he has her fucking restrained.
John,
what you're saying.
But you're acting. Do you think I'd put John's life above others? If I put John's life above others, I wouldn't be standing with
The brothers are with me.
you coming up. I like you. I personally like peace. Say peace. Let's come. Don't easy. 1,000 miles away. Red Brigade showed them. One thing you can do but step that way. It's the only way to step.
Able to let them experience it all the way.
Elvis, I think we should be happy about this.
Is that the
I was
full
just thinking
55
about
minutes?
Jim
48.
He just has
You got that on YouTube?
and suffer.
The Jonestown death state.
Oh, wow. I didn't find that.
To us, we had nothing we could do. Only Jim Jones. Must be insane. Be patient. I remember and hurry. All right, they does not fall into the hands of the enemy. Hurry, my children.
Tell him to hurry.
Hurry.
Kill
There's
yourself.
seniors out here that I'm concerned about.
Hurry up
Hurry.
and kill yourself.
That's what death is, sleep.
You'll be sorry.
We've set an example for others. We've set 1,000 people who say
You'll be sorry.
that we do it and that they do it. We've set it.
Different. I can't find the part where the mother is screaming, because you can hear her. It's very, very low.
Yeah.
But when you hear it, it's kind of fucking haunting, because, dude.
Yeah, the mom kind of saved their oldest son, too.
On accident.
No, I think she did on purpose.
You think because he had to go play a basketball game, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what in the fucking hell? 43:30.
Now they refuse to bring any babies into the world. They kill every child that comes in. It's been done by every riot.
I'm just trying to find her. Mother.
They took us and put us in. Now, you'll have no problem with the thing if you just relax.
Hold
Send
on.
it to them.
Here it is.
Who wants to go with their child has a right to go with their child. I think it's humane. I want to see you go, though. They can take me and do with me whatever they want to do. I want to see you go. I don't want to see you go through this hell no more. No more, no more, no more. We're trying. If everybody will relax. The best thing you do to relax, and you'll have no problem. You'll have no problem with the thing if you just relax.
I can't find the fucking part. Regardless, there's a part in this fucking tape, right, where they're screaming in the background. It's his wife getting restrained by the armed guards.
Yeah.
Basically, them fucking making her fucking, like, restraining her.
Yeah.
Because there were some people who were forcibly injected.
Yeah.
So, like, at least half the fucking people were forced or killed. So, like, between people who were forced to drink, injected, or shot, that makes about a half of it. The other half did voluntarily do it. Now, the thing is that the fucking Marceline, she was actually a good person, believe it or not. She didn't really like being with Jim Jones, especially towards the end, because actually Jim Jones threatened her if she left, he'd fucking kill her. But that's besides the point. Fucking, she didn't want anybody to kill themselves. And there's a point in the fucking clip, I couldn't find it, but there is a point where she's screaming because they're grabbing her because she's trying to make people stop, and she's screaming. You can hear in the fucking bathroom. He's like, mother, 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 please don't do this, mother. No, mother. No. I also like how Jim Jones, by the way, you know why he sounded like an old black woman? Because that's how he related to the people. Yeah. So he purposely made himself sound like that. But after they had killed the senator, that's basically it. He had everybody basically sat down, and people who weren't sat down and were trying to get away per se, or were in the hospital beds, they were being injected, they were being shot. And all those people in that room were forced to drink the fucking Flavor Aid. Yeah. And a lot of people think, hey, they didn't have to. They were just, they were all fucking brainwashed. No. It was, some people didn't, and in that clip you could hear there were some people being like, hey, it's my right to decide if I want to die or not. But what if I don't want to die? And he was saying like, oh yeah, it's your right. But we're gonna make you drink it anyway. And you know what's funny about that tape? You know what the funniest part about that whole tape is? Jim Jones didn't drink the Flavor Aid. He had somebody kill him for him because he was too much of a pussy to drink the Flavor Aid.
Yeah.
So that's the icing on the fucking cake of Jim Jones. He was such a piece of shit that he couldn't even fucking do it himself. He had to have somebody do it for him. So. But that's basically it. That's like a very vague explanation of what Jonestown was. I didn't want to have this go on for hours and hours, so I was trying to rush through. So sorry if I missed a lot of shit that you may have wanted to hear. There's a lot of details, and if you want to listen to somebody get really deep into it, if you want to spend like 6-7 hours listening to to specific information, go listen to last podcast on the left. They have a 5-part, and each episode is an hour to 2 hours long. 5 parts. That's like watching 5 movies in a row. So it's like, if you want detail down to the fucking granules, then you listen to their podcast on it. If you want every single detail, because then you'll get every single detail. But they mention a lot of useless shit at the same time. But because they mention everything, they literally dissect his life.
Okay.
So
before you dive into your opinion,
yeah.
Now it's my turn.
Well, you want to talk about conspiracies? Go ahead and tell me about stuff. Do your thing.
Okay, so. Okay, the part we kind of skipped over there, the 2 years in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, while he was in San Francisco, hold on, I gotta get ready. Hold on.
Sorry, I had to light my weed cigarette.
Your weed cigarette.
My stocks just went down.
Okay. So while he was in San Francisco there, he became very powerful politically.
Yeah.
He actually befriended
Adolf Hitler.
No, it wasn't Adolf Hitler. It was actually the mayor of San Francisco, Marconi.
Really? Marconi?
Yeah. And actually Marconi wasn't the mayor when they became friends. Marconi basically won the
macaroni.
Macaroni. Marconi basically won that election because of Jim Jones. Okay, he was able to.
I've actually heard of this.
Yeah, what Jim Jones was able to do was he was able to organize and round up all of his followers. And at that time in San Francisco, he had over 5,000 followers.
Mm-hmm. That was right before he left.
Yeah.
In fact, at the end, by 1978, when they had all killed themselves, they had a total of like 7,000 followers. So, whether you probably don't think that's a lot, but when you have 5,000 people voting in one way of somebody, that gives them a massive boost. Especially if it's something as little as like a mayor election. 5,000 is probably a lot.
Especially when he would load them all up on the buses, and they would travel from district to district.
Yeah.
And they would vote multiple times.
Yeah.
you'd have one member voting 5 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That reminds me of a certain election.
Yeah.
One that happened 2 years ago.
Yeah. So, Marconi kind of knew Jim Jones was able to do this.
Yeah.
So he got sucked into the whole political thing of San Francisco. And the Democrats in San Francisco actually used Jim Jones too for that means. And they also used him to load up buses of his followers and go have rallies, staged rallies and staged protests.
Well, he was also like a
for
he's
whatever
also,
the Democrats
He was
wanted.
also a leader of the progressive community at the time in San Francisco.
True, but he also did whatever they wanted him to do.
Well, I'm saying,
Yeah.
he had minorities voting for his cause. He had a voice, and he had sermons, and they were public sermons, and I'm sure he was telling people, go out, and I'm sure I bet you in one of those sermons he said, go out and vote for this guy. Hold on, let me do the Jim Jones voice. Go out and vote for that man. You know, you don't have a reason to live no more.
Well, for Jim Jones's generosity with the election, Marconi appointed him to the San Francisco Housing Authority Commission, which means Jim Jones was basically one of the major landlords of San Francisco. And that commission was so rife with corruption, money laundering, and everything. I mean, it was just a crooked, because it was Democrat run too. So
Yeah.
So he did that. He also became friends with this guy, Harvey Milk. Harvey Milk was another one who worked in politics there.
Do you think Harvey Milk had good calcium levels?
Do
you think that he drank his milk?
Well, he was gay. He was one of the first. He was one of the first people at such level to come out as being openly gay.
Yeah.
Not only did he rub shoulders with them, he rubbed shoulders with Willie Brown.
Willie Brown?
Yeah, he was another future mayor.
Mm-hmm.
He also...
I know he rubbed shoulders with... Didn't he rub shoulders with Pelosi?
No, not Pelosi herself. He rubbed shoulders with Dianne Feinstein.
Mm-hmm.
Feinstein, they had multiple meetings, him and Feinstein.
Mm-hmm.
He also had several meetings with Jimmy Carter's wife.
Jimmy Carter's wife, huh?
And who else? Who else did he hang out with? Oh, he hung out with Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown was what the hell was he? A governor of California?
Yeah.
He hung out with him. Dude, he hung out with all those
big
high-end Democrats.
Yeah.
Because he could get shit done for them. They didn't care. And at this point, he was already fucked up taking fucking drugs all the fucking time.
Well, he was fucked up, and there was already rumors that he was abusing people. He had, like,
Yeah.
At this point, if you guys didn't know, let me tell you about some of the torturing techniques. Again, this is something that was kind of inconsequential to the overall story, but I will tell you that, because, like I said, there was abuse, but let me go ahead and fucking specify a little bit. He used to belt people until they needed medical help. In fact, while he was in California, he took in a pedophile and tried to reform him, and he ended up raping a kid again. The pedophile did.
Yeah.
And then, you know what what they decided to do? They decided to belt the guy's genitals until they were deformed.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and that was public info, kind of. I mean, they brought him to a hospital. Like, what the fuck are you gonna say? My genitals fell down. Wait a minute.
My genitals fell down the stairs.
That was the last podcast on the left joke, actually. Because I just remembered what they said. I was like, oh wait, they said that. Let me redo it. My genitals ran into the fucking doorknob 300 times.
So yeah, and he also hung out with Walter Mondale. He was a vice presidential candidate. And in 1977, he had this big shindig, right?
Yeah.
Where all these elites, all these Democratic elites out there in San Francisco, had a big shindig in his honor and gave him some kind of fucking special award to make him feel good.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, and Willie Brown, future governor or future mayor of San Francisco.
And at this point, let me go ahead and mention that at this point, Jim Jones was so drugged out, he was always wearing sunglasses, so he looked like a con man too.
Yeah. Yeah.
He looked like a piece of shit. He looked like if you look at
Dude,
pictures of
he
him,
looked like a fucking dirtbag.
yeah, he did. He looked like a mobster.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to say that in in retrospect, like hindsight's 2020. No, this guy dead ass looks like he's a fucking mobster. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He looks like he sells you fucking drugs. But then again, this is also the 70s, so you know what? Everybody kind of looked like that.
So Willie Brown said to all these people at this huge party in his honor, he said, and I quote, Jim Jones is what you should see every day when you look in the mirror in the early morning hours. He's a combination of Martin Luther King Jr., Angela Davis, Albert Einstein, and Chairman Mao.
Wow. That's a hell of a combination.
Yeah. Democrats were a big fan of this son of a bitch.
Yeah, and they were also big into the socialists and communists as well. That sounds pretty familiar again.
And then something else happened with someone you mentioned. Okay, so we're down in the Guyana there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, poof, everything goes to shit. Mm-hmm. Everyone's dead.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people were from San Francisco that ended up fucking dead. So not only did they have to deal with that, but then they had to deal with this shit. 9 days after that, Mayor Moscone and Harvey Milk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some guy walked up to him and fucking blew them both away.
Wow.
Yeah, and and then Dianne Feinstein automatically became mayor of fucking San Francisco. So the guy, the fella who fucking killed them.
Yeah.
What the fuck was his first name? His last name was White. Well, White. What the fuck? I can't remember his first name now. Well, anyway, this dude worked on the same commission as Feinstein.
Yeah.
And worked in the offices.
Yeah.
He just walked up to him and he fucking shot both of them.
And he was a Feinstein guy. He was working with her. Was he one of Jones's people by chance?
No one. I tried, trust me, because you know I'm about conspiracies. Yeah. I tried to dig all I could on this guy.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything weird on him.
Yeah.
White, he was a Vietnam vet.
That makes it weirder.
Yeah, I know, because I couldn't find nothing on him.
Yeah, that makes it more weird.
Listen, but here's the fucked up thing. He was a Vietnam vet, okay? Yeah. He came back from Vietnam. I believe he started out as a security guard at a school in Alaska.
Yeah.
Moved down to San Francisco. Became a firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
Then became a police officer. Then got into politics. And he shot these two motherfuckers. This is San Francisco for you. He shot these two motherfuckers. And they deemed it wasn't premeditative, and he didn't get the full Monty.
Yeah.
The dude only got sentenced for, I believe, 6 years. You know how he won? Google this. It's called the Twinkie defense. This is San Francisco for you. The Twinkie defense. Because he let his diet go. And he started taking a massive intake of sugary things, mostly Twinkies.
Twinkie defense is a derisive? I've never seen that word before. Holy shit. Label for an improbable legal defense. It is not recognized as legal. It is not a recognized legal defense in jurisprudence, but a catch-all term coined by reporters during the coverage of the trial defendant Dan White for the murders of San Francisco City Supervisor Harvey Milk and Mayor George Moscone. White's defense was that he suffered diminished capacity as a result of his depression. His changed diet from healthful food to Twinkies and other sugary foods was said to be a symptom of depression.
The fucking Twinkie defense.
Contrary to common belief,
San Francisco.
White's attorneys did not argue that the Twinkies were the cause of White's action, but their consumption was symptomatic of underlying depression. White was convicted of voluntary manslaughter, and there's a picture of Twinkies.
So yeah, he got out. He I don't even.
So he literally just killed 2 people and then got only manslaughter.
Yeah.
Because he ate some Twinkies.
Yeah, and then once he got out, he only lasted 2 years and he fucking killed himself.
Well, I know what I'm doing. I just have to kill people and say it's because of my diabetes.
Yeah.
My blood sugar was high. Come on.
Okay.
I got to ask, though, how'd he kill himself? A bunch of shots to the chest?
A car.
Shot himself?
A car. He took a garden hose.
Oh, okay.
Ran the pipe into the car.
Okay.
That's pretty common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I believe it.
So that's that. Some things about Jim Jones's chief aide, he was called, George Blakey.
Yeah.
George Blakey was the one who purchased all the land down in Guyana.
Yeah.
And he survived.
Yeah.
And after he survived, after he fled Guyana, he went to Trinidad and he withdrew $5 million from a bank account.
Yeah.
Then years later, it came out. Yeah, George Blakey was CIA.
Yeah. I actually know that. I knew that he was CIA.
And then we have, let's see.
So you say he was hired to maybe he egged it on? You mean? Is that why
Yeah.
he withdrew $5 million?
What I'm getting to is George Jones was a fucked up individual.
Yeah.
But I'm at the notion that he was tapped.
Yeah.
By the CIA and he was part of MKUltra. I know I sound like a conspiracy.
Well, no, because the reason I believe that is because his fucking methods were very MKUltra.
They were 100% MKUltra.
Yeah.
The university Jim Jones went to, Indiana University, that is on the list of universities for MKUltra.
Yeah.
And then you have okay. So when Ryan went down there,
yeah,
okay, he went to Jonestown with a fella from the U.S. Embassy, Richard Dwyer.
Mm-hmm. I know that.
Okay, Richard Dwyer. Yeah, he was CIA too.
Huh.
He was a CIA field officer of that area.
Yeah.
There was a huge CIA presence.
In Guyana?
Yes. There was a huge CIA presence in Guyana.
Well, it was a new country.
Yeah.
Newer.
Yeah, so there was a big presence there. And for years, Richard Dwyer, he didn't admit that he was CIA, but then later on it came out he was, in fact, CIA.
Yeah.
And once everyone got shot up on the plane, Dwyer disappeared for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that Jim Jones, on the tape there.
Was there a reason for Leo Ryan to die?
Leo Ryan actually co-authored an act with another guy with the last name of Hughes. Mm-hmm. And this all came out of we talked about it in Operation Mockingbird episode.
Yeah.
The church committee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because that scared the shit out of everyone. So it was called the Hughes-Ryan Act, and this act required the CIA to report all covert operations to the Congressional Oversight Committee. That didn't happen because he died.
Yeah.
What else? Okay, yeah, Dwyer disappeared. On the video, or the audio rather.
Yeah.
No shit. It's on there. You can find it. If you listen to the whole audio, you got to listen to all of it. I tried finding the clip on YouTube. You can't find just the clip. It's in with other documentaries and shit. But you can clearly hear Jim Jones say, "Get Dwyer out of here."
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he said, and this is
Last podcast actually talked about that.
This is right before,
And they actually brought up how he was CIA.
Yeah. They said, get Dwyer out of here, get him down to the East House.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. What the fuck ever. So, to me, that says he was there. Not only that, the hospital that Jim Jones worked at, also MK Ultra related.
You mean in his early years?
Yeah.
Like when he met Marceline?
Yes. And this goes back to not only was his school MK related, the hospital was MK related. His father was a Klansman.
Well, he worked at the hospital while he was going to college.
Yeah. And
that's a big fucking a big what if to me.
And his father was a Klansman, okay, and he was already on the FBI watch list for being a communist.
Yeah.
These are perfect examples of people that were tapped for the MK Ultra program. Dude, and what he did, his program that he ran was MK Ultra 100%. He knew the procedure.
Well, his tortures were very MK Ultra. In fact, with how fucking brainwashed some of his members were, because, like I said, there were at least the other half of the members who had voluntarily killed themselves, and that's pretty fucking big. Now, again, they were weak-minded people, to be fair, but that also has to do with MK Ultra. MK Ultra, they usually take people who are vulnerable and then brainwash them. You don't usually hear about, like, especially if you talk about the official MK Ultra fucking shit. Like, if you look towards, like, who they used as experiments, who do you think they used as experiments? They used, like, hookers and young children and shit like that. People who were emotionally vulnerable. And that's who Jim Jones fucking targeted. Yeah. He targeted vulnerable people. That was his target audience. That's why he gained so much fame. And whether you want to admit it or not, 7,000 is not a lot. So that, and most of those people were old or vulnerable.
Okay, and one more thing. There's a lot of discrepancies of when the Guyana army went in versus days later when the American army came in. When the Guyana army first went in, they reported 408 bodies.
Yeah.
They said 500 people managed to flee into the woods. When the U.S. military arrived several days later, the U.S. military found an additional 500 bodies.
Yeah. How do you fuck that up?
The U.S. military said the Guianas just don't know how to count. That was their direct statement.
That's fucked up.
They just don't know how to count.
They just don't know how to count. And there's
so
by 500. I don't know.
They stopped at 500.
I understand the Guianas don't know how to count, but the chief medical examiner in Guyana, Dr. Leslie Moto, his opinion, more than 700 bodies he examined were murdered. Most of them had either gunshots or they had needle marks in the center of their shoulder blades.
So you're saying that the official testimony that around 400 of them had been forced to drink or been shot or had been injected. In fact, it was bullshit. 700.
It's bullshit. My opinion, it was an MK Ultra program. No one expected the senator to go down there, do what he did, and
they had to get rid of him.
They had to get rid of it all. If you really look into,
it's interesting.
If you really look into Jonestown itself, they didn't have much.
Yeah.
As far as food, shit like that. But their medical facility was state of the art. It was top notch. It was up to date. And these people were getting examined every day. Okay?
Yeah.
You don't need to get examined every day unless someone's keeping a record of what's happening to you.
And experimenting on you.
An experiment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is just me. This is just my take. I believe it was all part of a fucking MK Ultra program. And whatever. That's just what I think.
Well,
about
to me, it almost what I found funny about them in Guyana is that it was almost like a concentration camp of sorts, and that's why I think it was kind of MK Ultra psyop, something like that. Or if anything, he at least knew how to do that stuff, because he would have the Operation White Knight, or not Operation Code White Knight, where he would get fucking crazy and then turn on these fucking sirens, make everybody wake up, and then make everybody go fucking crazy, and then he'd be like, okay, time to go to bed. Imagine being woken up and then being told, nah, never mind, it was a false alarm, go to bed. And then he would, you know what else he would do? He would sit down and make everybody else around him stand up for hours at end. Sometimes people would shit and piss themselves. He would embarrass them, and then he would convince them that doing that was a reward. Yeah. And that's part of MK Ultra training, is believing that your punishment is fucking reward. They used to think that they were blessed to fucking stand up and stand, because they thought it was part of their socialist fucking code. And listen, and this is what brings me into this whole thing about how this has to do with modern day shit. It's because it's almost like fucking celebrities now, with how fucking nuts they are about socialism. It's like, and how much they enjoy the self-hate. It's somewhat similar. It's like a reward to them to hate themselves and hate their heritage. It's like, it almost seems like that's what's being, and they want other people to believe that. Yeah. And that's kind of what Jonestown was. Yeah. It was hate capitalism, love socialism, hate white people, love minorities. Well, I'm not saying that minorities are bad, but I'm saying like it was almost the same exact message that's going on today, which is why I have my own personal, not conspiracy theories, but like, dude, what's going on with modern day society? It almost seems like every politician is a fucking Jim Jones now. And
with his death.
Yeah.
With his death, the story has changed multiple times. The initial story was that he committed suicide, self-inflicted gunshot wound to the back of the temple.
Well, from what I understood is that he had someone kill him.
Yeah, because the gun that killed him was found 20 feet away from him.
Yeah.
Some people think that Richard Dwyer went back there and
made sure he was dead.
He was part of the cleanup
and he made
crew.
Sure he was dead.
And he made sure he was dead.
Like Jim Jones killed all those people and then was still alive, and then Dwyer finished him.
Yeah. I think it. And another thing too, and you can find it online. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't read any of it. I kept skipping over things about it. I don't know why I didn't read it. But in 1988, the Soviet Union released their own report on the Jonestown Massacre. So the Soviets were keeping tabs on it too.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's just I know Jim Jones himself, like, he was in touch with Russians because they had talked about going to Russia.
Yeah.
And shit.
That was part of their plan at one point. That they wanted to go to Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Jim Jones on that audio there, he mentions multiple times how the CIA is going to send choppers in, and they're going to come down from choppers, and they're going to slaughter us, and they're going to hack up your babies, and this and that shit. I don't know. I think there's a lot more to the story.
I need to stand up.
And the way I am, I just like to blame the government for everything. So fuck them. I think it was CIA. I think it was MK Ultra, and that's what I fucking think.
Well, what I think is, here's my thing, is that I don't have really that many conspiracy theories about it. And in fact, you brought up a good point, how it could have been an MK Ultra kind of thing. Very possible. My thing is that when I was listening to this, I drew a lot of parallels. I draw a lot of parallels to modern day politics, and it almost seems identical. And to the point where it's almost scary.
Oh, absolutely.
And I hate to call the left a cult, because it's not. I know not everybody on the left is like this. I know that there's some sensible people out there, but I'm talking about the crazies. I'm talking about the people who would vehemently stand up for their suits, for their people who quote unquote represent them yet don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost like their politicians are their Jim Jones. It's like Pelosi, for example, or. Who's the the black one, the one that you call Maxine Waters. Yeah, the thing about Maxine Waters, it's similar. It's like all it does is think about it. Think about it on this level. Jim Jones needed enemies, right? He needed enemies. He needed enemies for his cult to be successful.
Oh, yeah.
And he constantly made enemies. Dude, what do you think the left does with Trump and Republicans, Kavanaugh, all these people? They constantly make enemies out of them. They don't even want to even consider them being an ally. Oh. No matter, and think about it. Trump can do something completely great, but even if it was good, liberals won't like it because they need an enemy. And it's like their fucking politicians, their politician of choice is their Jim Jones. And that they're never wrong. They're never wrong, and I'll follow whatever they say. If they say tomorrow I'm going to piss my diaper, I'm going to do it. And
well, that's like I said. What I said to you last night at work when I tweeted. What the fuck did I tweet? It was something about. I tweeted something to Feinstein about Jim Jones or something.
Yeah.
And dude, boom, right away, someone tweeted back that's what the fuck? What did I tell you to tweet was?
On your account or?
No, it was on the podcast account.
Yeah, somebody replied and they said something cool.
Yeah, they said something really cool. It was like, the platform of today's Democratic Party is that of Jim Jones.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's right.
That's what he said, and I fucking honestly believe that.
It's kind of similar, yeah, and in belief too. But I'm saying, like, look at your leaders. What do they do? What do the left leaders do right now? The crazy left, Chuck Schumer's, Nancy Pelosi's, Maxine Waters, people like that. What do? They raise their own paychecks. All they do is bitch and complain about Trump, and all they do is fucking promote white guilt. All they produce is try and bring down the country, and they're trying to move it in a socialist, quote unquote, humanitarian way.
You want to see something fucked up?
And who does that sound like? Sounds like fucking Jim Jones.
You want to see something fucked up? Google how much fucking Dianne Feinstein. Google what her net worth is. Motherfucker. You're fucking kidding me.
Well, here's the fucking point.
I almost shit my fucking pants when I see it.
Here's the fucking point. And you know what else is also very similar between Jim Jones and these leaders? It's not like they're humanitarians and then they stick to that narrative. No, they do shitty things all the time. Yeah. They fill their own pockets. What the fuck did Jim Jones do? He filled his own pockets.
Yeah.
He did evil shit. What do you think these people
do? That's what it is. They say
Jim Jones knew the game. He already knew the game.
They say it's for humanity. They say it's for charity, but they only give fucking 10% and they pocket the rest.
She is.
Look at Haiti.
She's the second wealthiest serving senator. Worth.
You're fucking kidding me.
94 million.
94. See, look at that. 94 million. That 82-year-old fucking sea hag twat bag fucking cunt is worth 94 million fucking dollars. All you motherfuckers that voted for her, that's what you did.
But you hate the proletariat.
You got nothing from her.
And you hate the.
You got nothing from her, and you made her a fucking $94 million fucking heir.
And you know what else that you did? You also support the bourgeois, that you hate so much, the rich people, the people who rule over, the quote unquote rule over you, the evil capitalists. She's one of them.
Yeah. What the fuck, man?
Senator Mark Warner of Virginia is the richest, and he's worth $243 million.
Wow. And you know what? He's from fucking Virginia. You know that's all fucking money he took for fucking bribes, because Virginia's shit. Sorry if anyone in Virginia's listening, but there ain't shit in fucking Virginia, dude.
Basically, the point that I'm trying to make is that Jim Jones, we have a very close relationship with Jim Jones as opposed to senators. Senators, we really don't know too much about their past a lot of the time, unless they're big targets like Clintons and stuff, and Obamas. People who we have a reason to know their past life, right? It's like you can Wikipedia them, but you only get the vague information. Yeah. Jim Jones, we know everything about him. Yeah. Now, look at what he did and everything he did to make personal gain. Do you think that these senators didn't do the same thing? Jim Jones knew the game. He knew the game, and he rubbed shoulders with these people, and they've been around since he's been around. Right? And I said it to you last night, and you fucking laughed like I said something really savage. I said, if Jim Jones was alive today, he'd be a fucking career senator. He'd be a career politician.
Fucking A, right.
He'd probably be a Democratic leader. He'd probably be saying fuck Trump right now. And it's like he'd be one of those fucking nutcases. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, I'm not saying that these people are out there gonna fucking kill 900 people, but they're cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
They're the people that are.
They need to drink the fucking juice.
Oh my god.
Drink the fucking juice, Feinstein.
These are the people who are fundamentally evil. They don't care about your human rights. They don't care about your beliefs. They just care about what's gonna make you happy, and they're just gonna say it. And right now, it's really easy for them because you're so bent up on hating Trump. All they have to do is say fuck Trump, and then they can go and fucking sacrifice a baby, and they don't care.
The one guy,
because as long as you say fuck Trump, they'll fucking vote for you next year.
The one guy I listened to about Jim Jones, he said one of his most appealing qualities to these people were if you came in, you were so happy because Jim Jones could make you whatever you wanted to be.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He could assign you to a role.
And he'll just make you whatever you want to be, so you're fucking happy. And that's what these fucking politicians try to seed into your head.
Dude, you wanna talk about, you see who's there to fuck people over and make money, and who's there to maybe actually do the job. She's worth what the fuck she said she was, dude.
94 million. Yeah.
The poorest senator in the country is Christopher S. Murphy. He's a Democrat from Connecticut. He's worth $7,500.
I think I'm worth
You're
more than that.
You're fucking kidding me.
I'm pretty sure I'm worth more than that.
Because he has between $30,000 to $100,000 of student loan debt to still pay off.
Oh my god.
That's what all senators should be like.
Yeah, but you know what? Someone will come to him, someone from some fucking corporation, and say, "I need this done," and then I need you to
go on national TV. I need you to say this, and this.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, you're going to be worth millions.
Yep. Tell them my dick tastes fucking good, and everyone should try it.
Whatever, man.
Is that Jeff Flake that's been in the news?
Yeah, I don't like that son of a bitch.
I don't really know anything.
How much is he worth before he gets money real quick?
Right now he's only worth $32,000 because.
Let's pay attention to that.
Because his wealth is brought down by two large mortgage liabilities, which together total at least $750,000.
Okay, and that was Jeff Flake.
That was the guy. That was the guy who.
I'm writing this in my notes. Okay. Jeff Flake.
32,000.
And I date all my notes.
32,000.
So he's worth 32,000.
Yeah, and he's got large mortgage liabilities, which total.
Okay, what we're gonna do?
Check back in a couple months.
Is we're gonna check him in January.
Okay.
We'll check him in January. See, Jeff Flake ain't running for re-election.
No.
He's done after this.
Yeah.
So, and we'll see. We'll see what happens to his fucking
net worth.
His fucking net worth come January, because he's the guy who put the brakes on.
The Kavanaugh thing. He wants the FBI investigation. Yeah. He said if we don't get the Kavanaugh investigation, I'm voting no.
All right. So we're going to keep tabs on this motherfucker. We're going to see what happens to his net worth over the next couple fucking months.
The funniest part
Jeff Flake now worth $32 million.
There's an article here from back in 2016 where Bernie Sanders was saying he was the poorest member of the U.S. Senate. At that point, he was worth $160,000.
Not that much. Not that much for a senator. Not that much for a senator. That's pretty low still. That's still pretty low for a senator.
But that's compared to the other fucking people.
How much is he worth now is my question. That's a good good one.
Clinton paid him good.
That's the thing. I want you to look at his net worth now, because it's only been 2 years. It's only been 2 years.
Yeah.
If he's still living his Mr. Socialist life, he should still be poor, right?
Yeah.
Bet you he's worth millions now. Guarantee you. Guarantee you.
Come on, motherfucker.
2 million.
Fucking 2 million. Fucking 2 million.
Dude, if you think that there isn't a conspiracy, if you don't think that there's a fucking elite, if you don't think that there's a deep state paying these people, you're a fucking fool. You're a fool.
Fucking Bernie's like, thank you, Hillary. That was the best loss I ever had.
Hey, we'll push you. I know you only got 160,000 in net worth, dude. Listen, we'll push you. We'll push you 2 million.
It's like a fucking boxing match. He's still fucking made out.
And that's
shit.
That's a Wall Street Journal article from August of this year.
Oh my god, what a phony fuck! Holy shit,
I'm fucking
man.
dude. That just goes to show, dude. Bernie Sanders is my
fucking cuck.
He actually reminds me a lot of Jim Jones. Actually, he's a pretty big Jim Jones guy.
These fucking motherfuckers, dude.
But the point is that Jim Jones would have been a career politician to this day, and that's why I really like doing this topic. I'm sorry that I was so vague through all this, but this is the part that I really wanted to get to.
Yeah,
this is the part that I wanted to talk about.
See, this is the good part, and I hope everyone fucking stayed fucking.
Please fucking come. If you don't want to listen to the rest of it, fine. Just skip to this part, because
they can't hear that.
I'll just edit it in later. Skip to this point if you want to hear me rant. But for real, if you make it this far, this is the part that I want to get to. Jim Jones was a politician. He was a politician. He wasn't a religious leader. He wasn't a cult leader. He was a fucking politician. And he was lined in everybody's pockets, just like how it is today.
Yep.
And when I was listening to this, and I was ranting about this last night when we were working, I said, when I was listening to this, I was getting angry. Because not only was I gaining information about this guy, I was thinking, this guy, I might as well be listening to a modern-day Democratic senator, a story about a modern-day Democratic senator, because it's almost the same exact thing, minus the religion. That's about it. If you took away the religion from Jim Jones' story, it would sound like a politician rising up through the ranks.
Dude,
like a piece of shit.
That's like when I was reading about the whole, he was bussing his people around.
That reminded me. That reminds me 2016 elections.
Well, not only that, it reminds me of that fucking dude down in Alabama. Remember he was running for senator, a Republican down there, and then they were interviewing Democrats on TV.
Yeah.
And they even said, yeah, we were busting, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, what the fuck, man? And then with him busting people around to protest and shit.
Yeah.
Dude, it made me think of all the when fucking Trump's inauguration and they were down there in D.C., all the buses, they were busing all the protesters in, dude. It's like, you're fucking kidding me.
Just out of curiosity, I had to look up the Killer Queen.
Oh. Hitler. No, I mean Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Dude,
Hillary Clinton.
Her and Bill have made $240 million since leaving the White House.
It's crazy. Did you see what they had the year after they left the White House?
Nothing.
Does it show? Yeah, they had shit.
It says they were $12 million in debt at the end of her presidential his presidential
his presidency. Yeah.
So she made up $12 million and made another.
Well, you had the Clinton Foundation. You had the Russians paying Bill $500,000 for a fucking speech, for Christ's sakes.
Here, and this is what it all leads me to, and this is the big part here.
James is standing up. This shit's about to get real.
Well, no, my ass hurts.
Oh,
I was sitting down for too long.
Okay.
Fucking, this is just modern day politics all over again, man. Back then, I just see parallels. History is repeating itself.
Yeah. And we let it happen all the time.
And Trump's our fucking Reagan, bro. He's our Reagan. Didn't we vote Reagan in the 80s, right? He's in the 80s, correct?
Yeah, I didn't like Reagan, though.
Well, no, I don't like Reagan either. But but think about it. 70s, 60s, and 70s was liberal time, baby.
Yeah.
Liberal time. Progressivism, all this, all that. Reagan. Then Reagan comes out of nowhere? What the fuck? It's going to be the same. It's the same exact fucking thing.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's all.
It's the backlash from
and it's like,
or as that dude on CNN calls it, a white lash.
And now all you got is fucking people preaching for socialism. Which, by the way, I'm surprised that Jim Jones got to kill his fucking people first. I'm surprised he didn't fucking starve first.
So tell me how fucking Obama's worth $40 million, whatever.
Okay.
Fuck. Then fucking Michelle, her net worth is reported to skyrocket in November when her book comes out because it's a $65 million book deal. She'll be fucking worth more than he is.
I don't know. Write a book.
What the fuck?
All I know.
Who else can I look up? Who else you want to know how fucking rich they are and how much rich we fucking are?
Me.
Okay, I'll look you up. I don't think I'm going to find you.
I have $200 in my bank account.
Oh, wait. Your name's actually James. Hold on.
I can almost guarantee you I don't have a Wikipedia page. But yeah, just listen to this whole Jim Jones thing. It made me really angry because I just see so many parallels. I see it's the same exact thing, and they were the reason why it made me so angry is because just like in the 60s and the 70s, the politicians and the people who wanted to get ahead in life by being scum, they used the LGBT, they used the minorities, they used the progressive white people. They used you guys as tools back then for political gain, and that's why they're in office now. That's why they're senators now, because that's what they used you. They used you as a tool back then. And we know that for a fact because history showed itself. And Jim Jones showed that as well.
I looked you up, and for whatever reason, the first person that gave me was James Wood's net worth.
Whatever. I guess I'm James Wood. But banned on Twitter.
You're not on Twitter anymore.
Can't even tweet at me. But fucking just to put it in perspective is that just looking at how Jim Jones operated and in the shoulders he rubbed with, that's how they operated. And these people are in office today. These people are in fucking political office today. And it's like, do you think that these people aren't using you again? Do you really think that these people aren't fucking using you right now? Because look at it. Look at it. These people, their jobs are on the line with Trump and all these other Republicans that are starting to ride on that fucking train. Their jobs are on the line. Their paychecks are on the line. Their careers are on the line. Okay? So what do you think they're using you for when they say, oh, you know, like when they've been quiet all these years, but all of a sudden the threats come along? Oh, we're friends with the blacks, the LGBT, these guys, this is this. It's like now they're friends with you guys. They're using you. And it's the same thing in the 70s. It's what Jim Jones did. It's a fucking... You're being used. And I'm not saying that all liberals are bad, but I'm saying don't trust your fucking politicians because they're all just Jim Jones nowadays. They might as well just be Jim Jones in different fucking clothes and cross-dressing and shit. Because that's what they fucking are right now.
There was an H.R. Haldeman. He was He was an American political aide and businessman, best known for his service as White House Chief of Staff to Nixon.
That was me.
That's the only.
That was me.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm sorry. Rant's done. I got angry, but I'm not angry anymore.
It's okay.
I'm good now. So, yeah, I'm sorry I was so vague earlier. I really just wanted to get to the meat of it, of me fucking being angry, and like, I just want people to fucking...
The meat of me being angry.
I just want people to look at this and learn a lesson. Learn a lesson from Jim Jones. And look at the people who he was involved with who are still in politics today. Still in politics. They used his way of doing politics, and they still do.
Oh, yeah.
And they still... And you guys need to fucking realize it. So, some of you guys on the left. I know, I know not all people on the left are bad. But the thing is that there are some people out there who would live and fucking die by some of their fucking politicians.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. I didn't spit something. There was like a hair on my mouth. But there are some people who would live and die by their politicians, by people in suits who are worth many more than you. These people would fucking probably push you off a cliff if somebody could give them $20 for it. If somebody waved $20 in front of their face and they said, kick that fucking guy off the fucking cliff, they'd fucking do it. Because that's what their fucking lives entail. It being fucking endorsed by people, selling their fucking soul. But you guys fucking trust them. You guys think that they're the good guys. I'm sorry. It makes me angry.
No, well, enjoy when you get to this point.
I gotta take pictures, bro. I gotta take pictures.
But it's whatever. I'm done with the rant on it. I'm just saying that if you listen to the Jim Jones story and you take in perspective modern day politics, you see this weird parallel that almost makes you be like, am I not just listening to something that happened like a couple months ago or something? I'm surprised there hasn't been a fucking cult yet. A new cult.
There is. We just haven't heard about it yet.
Yeah, we'll hear about it when fucking 900 people die soon. Fucking Clinton's town.
Clinton town.
We love the Clintons. We think that they were good people. Now drink the Flavor Aid. Whatever. Let's talk. Let's end this shit. My asshole hurts so fucking bad right now.
You gotta stop taking that dick, man.
Fuck. ASMR. All right, guys. Our Twitter for the podcast is what?
We're calling it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Do you have anything else?
No. I'm good. It's all MK Ultra.
Yeah. I can see how you came to that conclusion, honestly. I can see how you came to that conclusion. It makes a little bit of sense. I get it. I could see it. It makes sense.
Cool.
I'm just saying.
All right, let's do it.
It's bullshit. It was all bullshit.
Whatever
you said was fucking stupid.
You got to start with this.
Oh, do you want me to do that first?
Oh, okay. No, do that last.
Yeah, okay. Our Twitter. Okay, Twitter. Our Twitter for the podcast is @DrinkinATheory. No spaces, no fucking capitals. It's just @DrinkinATheory all together there.
Most importantly, no underscores.
No underscores, please, for the love of God. Don't put underscores or else you will not find our Twitter. There's my Twitter. It's @JimmyBonesMyGuy. No spaces. Jimmy Bones My Guy. It's exactly how you think it's spelled. Nothing complicated there, I promise. Our Instagram is... it's always funny. It gets funnier each week to do this. Drink underscore and underscore and underscore... Wait, hold on. Okay, our Instagram is drink underscore and underscore and... A fucking goddamn
drink underscore and underscore a underscore theory underscore podcast.
We need to change that. It needs to be changed. I want it to be drink dash and dash a dash theory dash podcast. Underscore's too long. I don't know what you guys are listening to us on, but we're on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher. You can listen to us on any one of those three. So depending on what iTunes or fucking if you have an iPhone or if you have an Android, whatever. If you just
if you're listening to us on iTunes, could you start rating us or something?
Yeah, the more ratings we get, the more, because we don't have our reviews on yet because we don't have enough ratings. So if you're listening, please give us
fucking rate us somewhere.
No, well, don't even just you don't even have to write don't even write a real review.
I ain't asking for a fucking hand job here.
If you like
stars, if you think we suck, give us 1 star.
Okay, fine, yeah, fuck it. But I was gonna say, if you like the podcast, go ahead and fucking
I just want to be able to
don't even give like a complicated review. Just put 5 stars. It's good.
I just want to be able to look at iTunes and be able to see something, because right now
there's
fucking
dude,
nothing.
You know how happy I was when we got that fucking message on Twitter, and the person was like, I look forward to listening to you guys every week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking awesome, dude.
It is. Yeah. Should we shout that person out?
Whatever, do it.
Okay.
That was fucking awesome.
But yeah, I just want to see some ratings. Hell, if we suck, fucking tell us, I guess. But
it doesn't matter because I'm still going to fucking do it.
Okay.
Yeah, that too.
Okay. Pastel Pink Kiwi. That's exactly how you think it's fucking spelled. Just saying. Nothing complicated. It's pastel, Pastel, pink, Pink, if you can't spell, and kiwi, if you can't spell, it's Kiy. Why? Kiwi.
What the fuck? You haven't even finished your drink yet. You cannot fucking talk.
It's funny because I'm not even fucking drunk. I'm just like fucking frazzled. But yeah, they asked us to do Jonestown, and I was kind of gearing up to do a fucking cult anyway. I probably should have focused more on the info. Maybe I'll revisit Jonestown at some point, and I'll just do like an in-depth episode of it.
Just like Trump Space Force.
Jesus Christ!
Like I said, there's so much to cram in.
Well, it's I either have to choose to make one episode about pure info or one episode where I get to talk about my opinion. Yeah. I really wanted to talk about my opinion, and I know it doesn't matter to some people. But I really just wanted to talk about how I think that there's a parallel in politics nowadays. And
a parallel?
I said parallel.
I thought I heard parallel.
No, I said parallel.
Oh. Parallel.
Whatever. Don't make me think too hard about it. But yeah, they had asked us to do this topic, and I basically had to decide, do I want to make it really information fucking based and then I'm not going to be funny, or I'm not going to...
I feel kind of fucked up right now. I don't know how much I drank.
I don't know either.
You only had like 3 shots.
What?
You didn't put any in with the Coke, did you?
I don't remember.
What the fuck, dude? 3 shots is enough for... It's fucking like... Dude, it's 47% alcohol. 3 shots is enough to get you a little bit buzzed.
Okay.
So
I think you only had 3. Maybe it was 4.
Jesus Christ, you're drinking more than I am.
I drank more than that.
Whatever. Fucking...
Happy Lucky Boner Juice!
They had asked us to do Jonestown, and I had to choose if I wanted to be information-based or do, like, a rant at the end where I think it's just funny how politics looks a lot like it did back then, too. Like, it almost looks identical.
Oh, yeah.
It, like, identical. It's the same fucking topics and the same issues.
Yeah.
And it's all just a play. We're all being played by the higher-ups. That's just the point. That's just what I wanted to get at. That's the TLDR for this.
What the fuck is TLDR?
Too long didn't read.
Oh, man.
It's like that's basically it. We're all getting played by the fucking higher ups. Don't trust anybody. Don't trust anybody unless you know that they're like. First step to knowing that they're probably good for you is that the government and the current people who run the government don't like them. That's how you know probably step in the right fucking direction.
Yeah.
Because if they don't like him, it's not because they don't like him because he's a bad guy, because they're bad people. Yeah. They don't like him because they threaten their fucking way of life.
Yeah, and considering how we're shadow banned, all of our accounts are shadow banned.
Yeah, what the fuck?
You should
man.
My account's not shadow banned. My account's not shadow banned.
You should really like the shit out of us.
But
fucking is.
You know, Pastel Pink Kiwi, maybe we'll do another episode some point where I actually cover, like, straight up everything about Jonestown, like, the actual info. But I really wanted to get through the gist of it, say, like, you know, basically what had happened, more or less, and then talk about why it's so fucking relevant right now. And it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, and if you got any other topics you want us to talk about.
Yeah, if any of you guys listening want a topic done, I can't guarantee we'll do it right away.
Yeah, it's $10 a topic now.
Oh wow, no.
Fucking A.
You guys make me sound like a fucking asshole.
Drinkinthetheory.com.
Anyway, seriously, if you want us to do a topic, go ahead and fucking shoot us a comment or something. And I can't guarantee that we'll get to it right away. But we will definitely fucking put it on the list of things to do, if we haven't already done it. So,
yeah.
Or if like for example, if you're displeased with this episode, tell me in the comments. Tell me, hey, I wanted to learn more about Jonestown, and I'll be like, fuck it. The next time I do an episode, I'll do a better Jonestown episode.
I want to know.
I'll do Jonestown Part 2, the info.
I want to know what people think that last night was the first time James ever listened to the Melvins. I hate the fucking Melvins.
I like the song I listened to. It's pretty good.
Them.
It was Revolve. It's pretty good.
Because it started because he was like,
what grunge band would Hitler listen to?
Dude, it took me forever. I had to think.
Yeah, he didn't say anything for like 15 minutes, and I thought he was just done with the conversation.
Yeah.
Like he said, okay, let me talk about our relationship. Me and Jake's fucking relationship here as friends. I just wanted to make sure that was friends, and you guys don't get the wrong idea because I'm not gay.
No, you guys totally boned.
But usually how it goes 90% of the time is I say something stupid. He looks at me like I'm retarded, and then he says, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And then I say, "I don't know. I thought it was funny that I said something stupid." And then you repeat the cycle, and we do that for 8.5 hours. So, I had said, what if Hitler listened to a grunge band, what band would he listen to? And then you kind of went off. I
was in deep thought.
Yeah, you went off and I thought you just ignored me, like I said something stupid, and then some 15 minutes later, you're like, "Okay, I have the band," and then one of our coworkers was like, "Wow, that was really delayed," and you got like almost angry. You were like, "'Cause I was really thinking about it, man. I was really thinking about it." And I was like, okay, go ahead, tell me the band. And then you're like, the Melvins. And I was like, okay. I looked up the Melvins. I listened to a song, and I was like, oh, that's pretty good. I like it.
Aren't they the ones that kind of look like trolls.
Yeah.
The lead singer is really fucking ugly.
You just want to pick him up and shake him and make his fucking hair go.
Yeah, the lead singer looks really ugly. He has like a really gross afro going on, and he's like short and fucking fat. Like,
He's kind of a douchebag too, I think.
Yeah, he's a real asshole.
yeah,
That's why I don't like him. Fucking that guy's a dildo.
but whatever. I guess that's everything, guys. Just about, if you're displeased, please tell us so we can fix the problem. If you think that we can improve, give us some fucking information about what you think, and I will try my best to fix it. And I will think, okay, what can we do to make shit better? But you guys have to give us feedback first. If there's no feedback, we just think we're doing it right. So,
Okay,
guys,
I'm
that's
done.
everything. What do you know what you're doing next week?
You already told us.
I wanted to do.
Are you not ready for that yet?
No, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I want to do an episode on Chris Cornell
Oh yeah, that's right.
and Chester Bennington.
Okay, so next week we're doing an episode on Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington.
Yeah.
So expect it.
Yeah.
Expect it.
I was thinking about throwing another celebrity in there because you think those two would be enough topic for us for an episode. Never mind.
Why do you want? Who else did you want to add?
I can't even.
Michael
fucking
Jackson.
say- No. That's an epic episode.
Okay.
It's its own episode.
John Podesta.
No, well, he might get work in.
Chester Bennington's dad.
The Skater Boy. Avril Lavigne.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you. She's dead.
Yeah, I know.
She got replaced.
Why would she go in with them though?
Yeah, I know.
Well, whatever. We'll get there when we get there.
She's like her own fucking topic.
Yeah, I just don't know if she's a whole episode's worth.
Yeah, it's kind of like a stupid topic.
Yeah.
It's like something that you tell someone in like
could, like,
15 minutes and then you're
You
done.
could
Yeah.
throw that into a free episode at some point. Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
Maybe,
idea.
whatever.
I don't know.
Well, whatever. Next week we're gonna be talking about Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington, and possibly whatever the fuck her name is, Skater Boy. I'm dead. No, I know we're not. I know we're not, but I'm just saying it because it's funny. But yeah. Hey, see you guys next week. This is Drinking a Theory. Outro. Play the outro.
What the fuck is the outro?
Oh, hold on. I'll make one up.
Still don't have one.
That's right. It was a Drinking a Theory. I don't want the eyes are teary because I want to eat my ass and put in it. Okay, guys, that's it. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Bye.